Hey guys, how's it going? So today we're going to be going over the daily challenge. It was called Mad Gunners, and you basically use the 3 towers that can use guns, and you have to beat Dockside on hard from rounds 30 to 65 with 7,000 cash. Overall, it was actually pretty darn simple if you ask me. Whenever you have any single challenge where they alter the balloon ranks, all you gotta do is use what? Yes, glue gunners. That is correct. So whenever you start with glue gunners, it's usually not that big of a deal, especially when you have 7,000 cash to use up. All I really did was I used a bunch of dartling guns, and I made them in the top left corner, and mainly made 3 1 dartling guns and a couple 3 2 dartling guns. And that made it actually pretty good. Pretty simple, actually. I did use a couple glue gunners as well, and those glue gunners I just put right kind of near the beginning, and those helped for pretty much every single round. Now the only thing I'd say that you really have to watch out for are that pinks turn into leads, which, that's usually not that bad because your glue gunner owns pretty much all of them. But the problem is, on level like 53 and I think some other levels, the pinks turn into, there's actually camo pinks, which turn into camo leads. So you get camo leads before level 59, so you just need to make sure your dartling guns are upgraded to 3-2 or 2-2 or something like that so you can pop the leads. So that's really all I have to say for the strategy. Overall, just mass a bunch of laser cannons, and if you want to feel a little bit safe, just make maybe a 2-3 dartling gun, or maybe even 2-2-3 dartling guns, just to help with the cleanup. But I don't really think that'll be too big of a deal because your glue gunners usually take out mostly everything pretty easily. So that's really all I have for the strategy, and now I'm going to be talking about black holes, which I think will be pretty darn interesting for you guys. At least I hope so. First of all, black holes are kind of confusing, so I don't want to tell you guys I know every single little thing about black holes. I just want you guys to understand the basic concept of them. So what actually is a black hole? A black hole is, kind of by definition, a spot where gravity is so strong that nothing can escape, including light. And the reason why light can't escape is because light does get affected by gravity, and at a certain point, even if light is heading straight out of a black hole, it gets sucked in more than it actually can leave. So that's what a black hole basically is. It stops light from escaping. There's 2 types of black holes. There is you could argue 3 maybe. There's 2 types of main types of black holes. There's just a regular black hole that comes from a really, really massive star, or you have black holes in the middle of a galaxy. And in pretty much every galaxy, there's these things called supermassive black holes, which are actually just black holes, but they're gigantic. So that's kind of interesting. They're a lot bigger than just regular, when supermassive stars actually turn into black holes. You can't see black holes. The only reason why we really know that they're there is because sometimes they release some radiation, or sometimes we notice that there's actually absence of light, which actually is kind of weird when you have a star and then all of a sudden a black hole goes in front of it, and then you see the star disappear and you're like, oh man, what happened? Why did that star do that? So that's why we pretty much know what black holes are. Another thing about the black hole is that there's something called the event horizon. So even though the black hole really only is the singularity where every single ounce of mass, which is a lot of mass by the way guys, is formed into a singularity, which is a point which has zero volume, not like 0.01 centimeters of volume, no, 0 volume. That's why it's so ridiculous. That's what a point is. Just to explain this just a little bit further, when you draw a point in math or whatever, that's just to make it easy so you can see it. That point actually has 0 volume, just so you wanted to know. Just like a line pretty much is supposed to have 0 volume. It's supposed to be infinitely skinny, and the point is supposed to be infinitely small. So that's just to explain that a little bit better. Even though the black hole is that point, it has something called an event horizon. So the bigger a black hole gets, the bigger the event horizon gets. And all the event horizon is just the spot where gravity is so strong that light can't escape. So a really small black hole will actually have a small event horizon because gravity is only strong enough to absorb every single ounce of light up into, just for an example, like 10 feet. It's not that small, obviously. But once you get to a supermassive black hole, you can, go hundreds of miles, blah, 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 even bigger, where it can absorb all the light. So black holes can actually be small or big. And that being said, how do black holes get bigger? Well, black holes can get bigger by them sucking up more matter. So when a black hole interacts or goes into a star, what's going to win? Definitely the black hole. The black hole just sucks up the star basically, and it doesn't suck it up all and just snap and it's done. No, it takes a while for the black hole to actually go and suck up the star, and it kind of acts like a drain. If you just imagine a drain, how all the matter or all the water will just get sucked down in kind of a spiral thing. It's kind of physicsy how that actually happens. I'm not going to go into it, but basically it just goes in like a drain. Just kind of imagine that. All the matter won't just spontaneously go into the black hole. It doesn't really work like that. Black holes can also collide, so if you have a kind of small black hole and a big black hole, you'll just make a bigger black hole. That's how you get supermassive black holes usually. It's just there's so much matter in the center of a galaxy that black holes either combine or big stars combine, or a black hole just absorbs stars and absorbs other matter. So that's really how you get supermassive black holes in the center of galaxies. And if you think about a galaxy as well, you actually have, kind of like a high dense gradient sort of towards the middle, especially in a spiral galaxy. And as you get farther out, you get a less dense matter. Just as an example. Another weird thing about black holes is actually there isn't really just two types of black holes. There's kind of more, arguably, and it's not totally 100% proven, but people think that black holes actually spontaneously exist on Earth or other places in the universe, and they're trying to figure this out in the LHC and stuff like that, but basically little tiny black holes do exist. And all they really do is they just exist for microseconds or nanoseconds or even smaller femtoseconds or something like that, and then they just spontaneously burst into nothing or dissipate or turn into nothing. So that's really what that kind of black hole is. I think that's a pretty good definition or explanation of a black hole. I think I did all right. If you guys don't think I did that, or you think I should explain something else, I could do that for you. Just let me know. I think I did pretty good though, and I don't think I made any mistakes. Thanks for watching, guys.